Yep, organizing and decluttering the kitchen does feel like a daunting task, but don't worry, we are going to tackle organizing the kitchen together, breaking it down step by step, and walking you through my simple process, sharing with you any tips and tricks that I have along the way. So let's kick off this Organize With Me 2022. Now, at the beginning of every year, I always mention this about how important it is to fully reset your home. So last video, we deep cleaned and reset the whole house. Now it's time for us to fully go through our homes and reorganize so that way we know exactly where everything is and it all has a place. This way we know nothing in our home is unnecessary. Decluttering is such a good habit to get into. So before we get going here, I wanted to quickly share with you the 5 steps that I will be following during this organizing and decluttering process. The first step is to take everything out of the cabinet or space. The second step is to wipe out and vacuum the inside of the cabinet or space. Step number 3 is to properly organize it into sections so that way we can clearly see what we have and what we're working with. The fourth step is to donate anything that you do not need or use. If it doesn't serve a purpose, just get rid of it. And the fifth and final step is to put everything back in an organized manner. And at this point, you can add a container or basket if needed to keep the cabinet organized and more visually appealing. Let's get organizing. So I'm gonna go ahead and gather all the supplies I'm gonna need today. Grab a multi-purpose cleaner, washcloths, my stool, my vacuum with the attachments to get into the nooks and crannies. So starting at one end of my kitchen and working my way around, we're gonna start first with the medicine cabinet and go through everything. Last year, I did really thoroughly go through this and organize it into categories and sections and added in all of my bins, so it should not be too hard. But something that did help me last year before I even jumped into actually organizing the cabinets is I really assessed my kitchen and my space and figured out what is actually needed and what I use where. Some people have a ton of space and some people don't really have that much, so no matter the amount of storage, it is possible to have an organized and functioning kitchen. You just need to clearly define each space in your kitchen. So the medicine cabinet is done. It was pretty simple. I just organized it from what we use least to what we use most. And now for the junk drawer. We all have one, and boy does it get messy. I constantly organize this, probably like every couple weeks. Anyways, take it all out, vacuum it, organize it, throw away anything that doesn't get used, and just make your life easier by keeping your junk drawer organized. Now in the junk drawer, I keep all the pens, pencils, notepads, all the things that you commonly need. And then in this cabinet below, I keep all of my utility items that I need in the house. Everything from light bulbs, extra batteries, fire extinguisher, and of course the trash bags right near the trash can. So just decluttering this and getting rid of anything that doesn't belong in this cabinet. So we have worked our way to underneath the sink. Now this area can be a little difficult to figure out what works for you and your functioning kitchen. It took me a minute to figure it out as well. So my main tip here is if it doesn't need to be under the sink, relocate it to either the garage or laundry room. I only keep things under the sink that I need easy access to. So on the right hand side, I have all my extra products as well as my dishwasher pods and extra sponges and tools. And then on the left hand side, I have products that I use the least in a bin on the very back. Then I have my cleaning caddy and then extra little products that I just need easy access to, and that is it. Ooh, the lovely corner cabinets. Now I have talked about this before in my previous organizing videos, but I am not a big fan of corner Lazy Susan cabinets. So instead of using it for the typical canned food or pantry items, I like to use it for my pots and pans as well as serving platters. So I actually use the bottom one for all of my pots and pans, as you can see here, so that way I can just turn it and access my pans super easily. And then the top Lazy Susan I use for my serving platters and all of my unique dishes, and it makes it super easy because I can just spin it around and actually access everything that I need. This actually makes it super convenient, and I know you have asked me before what I use my corner cabinets for, and this is the best use that I have come up with, so I highly recommend trying this out for yourself. Now my feelings are the same when it comes to top corner cabinets. It actually took me a while to figure out what the best use of this space was for me in my kitchen, so I found it too hard to use it for storing like plates and cans and all the other things people normally use them for, so I decided to use it for storage. So the top shelf is actually used for kitchen appliances that I never use and don't need easy access to, and then the second shelf I use for food storage, you know, in case the world ends and or a hurricane comes, so food that doesn't go bad. And then for the bottom shelf I use it more for utility, so things I need easy access to. So we have paper plates, we have to-go cups, plastic utensils, as well as measuring cups, toothpicks, things like that. Oddly enough, this setup works really well for us and makes sense for our kitchen. So if you have a corner cabinet as well and you're trying to rethink what you can use it for, I would definitely give this setup a try. It's worked really well for us. Now, quick little tip, make sure you carry around a notepad so that way you can make notes of things you need to do or things you need to get. It really comes in handy. All right, so nothing has really changed when it comes to my plate cabinet. I'm just going to take everything out, wipe down all the shelves, and make sure everything is clean underneath them. That cabinet was super easy, and this one will be as well. This is where we keep all of our glasses. Up top, we have all of our unique glasses, then we have our wine glasses, and then underneath is our drinking glasses. Super simple. Now, a drawer that needs some attention, and it makes total sense why, is our silverware drawer. We are constantly in this. This is the drawer that's probably most used in our household, so crumbs are inevitable. So you're going to take everything out. You're going to wipe down the drawer as well as the little containers. I just have these bamboo ones. I'm pretty sure I just got them from Costco, but you can also order them on Amazon. I'm just going to take everything out, organize it, make sure everything is used, put it all back. Be sure you declutter and get rid of anything that you don't use in this drawer. It'll make your life easier. And as I'm watching this footage back, this is so satisfying to see the before and the after and seeing it all come together. So next I have this set of pull-out drawers, and I absolutely love these. These are so convenient. So in the top drawer, I keep the little tools and appliances that I used most frequently. So we're just gonna wipe, organize, and clean this out. And then in the bottom drawer, I keep things that I use a little less frequently, but it's really easy to have it in this pull-out drawer. So we're just gonna organize it and make sure everything is in its right place. So for my utensil drawers, I had to get a little creative because I have two small drawers side by side. So what I ended up doing was putting the least used and more unique tools in one drawer, which is what you're seeing here. So we're just going to vacuum, organize, and of course, make sure everything is needed. And then in the drawer directly beside it, we have all of our utensils that we commonly use. And this works out really great because it's right next to the stove. So you just open it up and you have everything that you need right there. So I've been really liking the separation of the utensils that I use most commonly, separate from the ones that I don't use at all. Now, a little tip here is make sure you really go through your utensils. I actually got rid of about, I don't know, half of my utensils and ended up just keeping the black and gray ones, getting rid of all of my pink and unique ones just because I wasn't using them and I wanted everything to match. Now in the next drawer down, I keep all of my kitchen towels, and same thing here, get rid of anything that has holes, stains, or looks raggedy. It's just unnecessary, and kitchen towels are really easy to replenish. So I went ahead and cleaned out the drawer, refolded everything, organized it by color, and that was it. This bottom drawer I actually reworked last year, and it became my Ziploc and foil drawer, and it is so much easier to have this all in one space, and it's a little deeper, so I end up stacking some of it, but it works out great because it's all in one place. Now directly next to my stove, I have this cabinet, and it works out great because I keep an easily accessible set of pans on top, and then on the bottom shelf, I keep all of my cutting boards, a cooling rack, and a few other pans that I like to have easily accessible. And something that has really helped me is to be really conscious of the things that I keep in my kitchen. If it doesn't get used, just get rid of it. It's just taking up space and making your space more cluttered. Now on the other side of my stove, I have this really cool pull-out spice cabinet. I really enjoy it, and I actually organized it not too long ago. On the top, I have the spices that I use most to least. Underneath my microwave, I have this really cool pull-out drawer, and it works really great for large platters and pans and awkward sized things. So I'm just going to take everything out and clean it because I actually haven't done this in a while. These are actually items that I don't use very often, so I'm not in this drawer a lot, so it feels really good to go through it and make sure everything that's in here I still need. So the next cabinet on our list is the coffee cabinet. Now this cabinet does get used on the daily, so I am constantly going through this, organizing and decluttering. It's just inevitable. So for the organization of this cabinet, on the top shelf I store all of our backstock of our Nespresso coffee pods, as well as any mugs that we don't frequently use or need easy access to. And then the second shelf is where I store all of our extra water bottles and reusable cups, as well as our coffee canisters, sugars, and things that we need in the morning when we make coffee. And then the bottom shelf is easy access to our mugs, to-go cups, and things that we use every morning. And the biggest tip that I can give here is only keep things in here that you actually use. Don't keep a huge backstock of extra water bottles or a ton of mugs that you just never use. It feels so good knowing everything in here we actually use. Good morning and welcome to day 2 of organizing the kitchen. I got a lot done yesterday. I was very proud of myself. I always think I can get it done in one day, but yet here we are. So we were able to get most of the cabinets done yesterday as far as organizing. Today we're going to focus on the cabinets that act as my pantry. Then we're going to work on cleaning out the fridges, and then we will finish by organizing the buffet over on this side. So we are so close and I'm so excited to get this done. I love when I go through the pantry because it's like a fresh start, and I know all the food in there is good, not stale, and ready to eat. Oh, and I can just never believe how many little bugs I find in the drawers and cabinets. It's so gross. I know that's part of like living on an island, but I don't know if I'll ever get used to that. So the last cabinet that I forgot to go through yesterday is this cabinet above the fridge, and up here I just keep cookie stands, cheese boards, vases, odd kitchen appliances. So I'm just gonna make sure everything up here I actually need and use. So now we're gonna get started on the cabinets that actually act as my pantry. I do have a small kitchen, so I do not have a walk-in pantry or a closet that I can use as a pantry. So I dedicated a few cabinets in my kitchen as my pantry, and it helps so much when I was defining the space in my kitchen. So the top shelf is used as backstock, the second shelf I use as produce storage, and the bottom shelf I use as snack storage. Now I'm just going to go through everything in the cabinet, make sure all the expiration dates are good, and everything in here we still eat and want. Now right below that we have these 4 pull-out drawers that work really nicely as our pantry. So this top drawer we actually use to store our chips, so I'm just going to go ahead and vacuum that out, as well as test everything, make sure nothing's stale, and everything in here we still eat. Now right below that we have our snack drawer, so we keep our nuts, crackers, popcorn, and anything like that in this drawer. Now the smartest thing I ever did was create a dedicated spot for my Tupperware to live. Ever since I did this, it's been much easier to find the matching piece as well as keep it all organized. And right when I moved, I also got a new set of Tupperware, so that way everything matched and I started fresh. And I highly recommend this. If you haven't done this in a while, definitely go to Costco, pick yourself up a new set of Tupperware. Now this bottom drawer is just a collection of random things. You will find everything from skewers to birthday candles to random decorations, but it's just that spot in my kitchen that if I'm looking for something random, I'll probably find it here. So I'm just going to go through it and make sure everything I still need and will use. Making our way to the other side of our little pantry, on this top shelf I use it for all of our backstock. You will find everything from extra pizza sauces, canned goods, sauces, seasonings, anything that's backstock you will find up here. So I'm just going through checking expiration dates and making sure everything up here we will actually use. No! Well, I guess I get to test how my Ruggable holds up. Yep. Yeah, no, your eyes did not deceive you. I actually did that. I forgot I put that jar up there, and yep, I spilt and broke that brand new jar of pasta sauce. But anyways, moving right along, on this shelf is where I store all of my sugar, brown sugar, chocolate chips, anything that I use for baking, and I put everything in these OXO containers, and it has made my life so much easier, especially here in this humidity in Hawaii. And then on the left hand side is where I store any of my oils, vinegars, and liquids that I use for cooking and baking. So in this next section of my pantry, I actually designated these drawers as food prep drawers. So in this top drawer I have all of our breakfast food prep. I have everything from oatmeal, peanut butter, syrup, anything that is used for breakfast goes in that drawer. The next drawer down is used as my dinner prep drawer. I have everything from croutons, rice, to gravy packets. Anything that's used for dinner prep is kept in here. Now I do have intentions of adding containers to make it even more organized, but these drawers are really narrow in general, so I'm gonna have to find the right containers, so it's just taking me a lot of time to make it even prettier. In this third drawer is where I store all of our protein and all the goodies that go into our protein shakes. So I'm going to take a minute to check expiration dates and try to combine anything that can be combined, so that way I can make the most room possible. And I'm pretty proud of myself with how much I was able to narrow this down. Now this bottom drawer definitely needs some help. This drawer is where I store all of our teas and anything that has to do with like drinks, liquid IVs, anything like that. So I'm just going to go through it because again, some of the stuff we just don't actually use, so I'm going to give it to my mom. This drawer is just proof that things accumulate, especially when you don't use them. So be sure to go through your things and make sure you only keep what you actually use. So this is exciting. We have made it to the fridge, which means we have officially gone through all the cabinets in my house, and you know exactly how I organize them, so I hope this has helped you out. But as far as the fridge, in my last video, the deep cleaning video, I actually went through and scrubbed out the fridge and all the shelves, so I'm just going to go through and check expiration dates and make sure I didn't miss anything. My favorite part of this fridge is this mid-drawer situation. It works out so well because it is part of the fridge, so I get extra storage. And last year I actually added all these clear containers, so it made it really easy to organize and clearly define what's in that drawer. Now at the bottom I have my freezer, and in here I have some cool opportunities to organize as well. As you can see, I'm working in this little secret pull-out drawer, and I really like this because I am able to section off of my freezer
So up here I keep frozen breads, my frozen fruit for smoothies, and ice cubes. On the left hand side I keep all of my frozen meats, and on the right hand side I keep all of my frozen meals and snacks and easy access things. Well, friends, now it's time to test Ruggable and see how red tomato sauce comes out of a rug.
Somehow it didn't stain. Today's off to a much better start. So welcome to day 3 of organizing the kitchen. I had no intention of it taking this long. I totally could have gotten it done day 1. Thought I could get it done day 2, but you know, everything just kept coming up and it didn't happen. So we are almost done. We have one last thing to do today, and that is to go through the buffet so you guys can see how I organize that. And it just feels so good to declutter, go through. I've already gotten rid of so much. So let's get going on that and finish organizing this kitchen.
So this buffet table is purely used as storage. I really don't know what I would do without this piece of furniture in my kitchen. So I'm just gonna take a second and declutter everything off of this table. Everyone has a spot in their kitchen that just collects clutter, and this is ours. This is where everything gets dumped, thrown, and yeah. So each drawer in this table serves a specific purpose, and this drawer right here is Sawyer's drawer. So this has everything that he needs when he leaves the house. We have mints, sunglasses, wallet, keys, anything like that. This is just his space to store it in. This next drawer down is the house junk drawer. This has like coupons and earphones and tape measures and extra masks and manuals. This is just that random place in the house where I throw everything, but yet I know what exactly is in here. I don't know, but I just somehow know. This next drawer is the key drawer, and this is actually where I store my stuff as well. So in that front section, we keep all of the keys. In the back section, I keep little things that I need when I leave the house. And then on the very left-hand side is all of my sunglasses. Now in this last drawer is where we store everything that we need when we leave the house to work out. Now this next section of the buffet table is my puppy's personal favorite. Whenever I'm in here, they always think it's something for them, because it is. This is the dog section. We have their food, their medicine, their treats, their collar, shampoo. This is their little section of the house, and look at Ollie. He will not leave my side because he thinks it's for him. Now we have made it to the last section of this kitchen. I can't even tell you how happy I am. So this part of the buffet table is purely for function and storage. So over here we have extra placemats, and then we have a sewing kit and just utility things in these little bins that I created last year. And then on the upper section I have Ollie's diapers and potty pads. Yes, we've made it to that point in his little life, as well as backstock of candles and other home goodies.
Okay, my favorite thing at the end of organizing is seeing all the stuff that I get to donate. So we have like mugs, old spatulas, water bottles that didn't have lids, placemats that I'm no longer using, and I have a pile by the front door I'll show you as well. But this is just so satisfying to see all the stuff I could remove from our space that was just decluttering and not serving a purpose. So yeah, love that. Success right here. Oh, and I have a bag of food to give my mom of things that we weren't eating and it was still good, so might as well see if somebody else would eat it. So that's what that is on the end over there. So this is all the stuff that I'm going to be bringing to Goodwill. This is some clothes that need to go. These are other kitchen things that I already made a little pile here that I pulled out. This is what you saw on the counter, and my old pendant lights. So very successful day of organizing. So the cool thing about doing this thorough of a job organizing and decluttering is you are setting yourself up for success. You have implemented new systems and standards for yourself and your household. Now the goal is to maintain and always remember these systems, but don't worry, it does become habit. Just always remember to put things back in their correct place, and each year I do this organized with me, it gets easier and there's less to get rid of because I never let it get out of hand. And it's pretty funny, even my mom knows not to get me any kitchen utensils, platters, or mugs without asking first, because she knows how strict I am about it. And it's actually a win-win, because by her asking, she will then know if it's something I will actually use and something that I need. And then I won't feel bad because I'm not getting rid of a gift that doesn't work in my system. And I know that kind of sounds funny, but I just take a lot of pride in my organizing and this kitchen, and I just love how I always know where everything is. So I hope this helped give you some ideas and inspire you to tackle and organize your kitchen and space. And if you would like more kitchen organizing inspo, feel free to click this video here.